from 1992 to 2007, at the end of the book, to now, today, what stands out for you that you would like to talk about? Is any particular thing you'd like to talk about, accomplishment in those years, that if you wrote another book, you definitely would include that in your book?
Well, I'm not finished yet. The genocide against my people is almost complete in this country. I live on my reservation. I see it every day. It's the poorest county in America. Has always been the poorest county in America. Our life expectancy, there's only 8 countries in the world that have a lower life expectancy, and those are 8 countries in Africa. Okay, Liberia, you know, the old Ghana, all the places where there's, you know, blood diamonds, and other small countries there, and that you don't even know about, in Botswana, and Mozambique. They all have, just only 8 countries have a lower lifespan than us. And we're disease-ridden. We're now contracting polio and tuberculosis, diseases non-existent in the rest of America.
Diabetes.
And diabetes is rampant, so is alcoholism and meth misuse. You tell me how the poorest county in America can afford all the hard drugs. It's impossible, yet it's happening. Thanks to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, their police. And so, culture, we don't have those old people anymore as role models. And there's a story among my people that if you capture a wolf and put it in a cage, that wolf will always try to leave the cage, escape any chance it gets. But if that wolf has pups born in the cage, those pups will never try to escape, will never try to leave the cage. And that's what's happened on Indian reservations. They've kept us so isolated through the generations now that we're becoming facsimiles of ourselves. And not even that, we're facsimile of white people. We're facsimiles of the patriarchs. It's just mind-blowing.
In your heart, how were you able to reconcile that with the great mystery?
Oh, the great mystery is still guiding my people. We about to got a bunch of heyokas. My people are digging through trash now for food and whatever. You know? When I see that, I know who my ancestors are. And we're reduced to that. I don't go empty the trash anymore. You see grandmas with their grandchildren, mothers and fathers with their children, digging through trash. Those are my people. So, I've got to leave some kind of a legacy for freedom for my people. So I started a school, a total immersion school. My people are so colonized now, they won't even help themselves. We're at the cusp, we're at the border of losing our language. You know, when less than 20% are fluent speakers, you're going to lose your language. We're there, we're even less than that now. And once you lose the language, you lose the connection, because it's a different way of thinking. What people don't know and linguists have ascertained is that the indigenous languages of the Western Hemisphere are the most expressive languages in the world, and the languages become less expressive as you move west. And everyone knows, anybody that knows languages, knows that English is the last language. So if English is the last language and it's the least expressive, which it is, ascertained by linguists of the world, then anything you translate in English is a half-truth, at best. At best. That goes for the Bible. So we lose our language, and that'll be catastrophic. I've met Indian people in the East who don't have their language anymore, and they're not Indians. They want to be. They're willing to try, but they don't have their language. They don't have their songs. My people, we have a song for everything. Think of something, anything. We have a song for it. So I started this total immersion school that was started by the Maoris in New Zealand back in the 70s. To a huge, huge success. It's now an indigenous movement. Total immersion. We throw out all English European modality of education, because it was the Catholics, the Holy Roman Catholic Church, that invented this present-day school system that everybody uses all over the world, all patriarchal societies. And that's with classroom. You separate the child at 6 years of age, and that's where every culture knows a child is ready to leave the side of its mother at 6 years of age. So you grab that child, put them in the classroom during the most important hours of the day, and brainwash them. By age. So they go through life not knowing how to relate with anyone younger or anyone older at any age. And then they expect this society to be functional? So we throw that out. The Maoris threw it out. Total immersion education. And we teach the teachings of our ancestors in the best way we know how they taught. So most of the education takes place in the living room. The living room. Outside. Even in winter. Even in winter. We're going to start with 3 and 4-year-olds. My school's starting this year with 3 and 4-year-olds. And the school will grow with them. And we just keep feeding in the 3-year-olds.